Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Today is a fantastic day to dive deep into the latest drama, both on our screens and behind the scenes. We have a lot of ground to cover, and things are getting incredibly heated in the Port Charles universe. Grab your coffee, settle in, and let's get right into the thick of it. Oh my god. I literally cannot even believe what I am looking at on my timeline right now. I am sitting here typing this up at 2 a.m. because I just finished watching the latest episode. But honestly, the on-screen drama is nothing compared to the absolute spiral happening behind the scenes. We need to talk about Maurice Benard. We really need to talk about him. Let's just say that it hasn't been his week, his month, or even his year for that matter. The man is going through it. And as a fan who has been watching this show religiously since 2015, I am half cringing and half panicking about what this means for the future of General Hospital. I'm sorry, but am I the only one who has noticed that Maurice is completely and utterly checked out of Port Charles right now? Anyone who has been paying even a tiny bit of attention to his social media accounts will see that all he likes to talk about these days is his mental health series, State of Mind. And look, I get it. Mental health is incredibly important. Maurice has been an absolute pioneer for bipolar disorder representation on television, and I love that he has a passion project. But he is making it no secret that he is looking to break out from the daytime television world. He wants to do this podcast full time, and it is bleeding into his overall vibe. But wait, I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's just look at what is actually happening on the show right now. No wonder the guy is exhausted. Sonny Corinthos is dealing with the most insane amount of heavy, dark, soul-crushing drama we have seen in years. First of all, Lulu just marched in and dropped the absolute mother of all bombshells on him. Rocco, sweet, innocent, teenage Rocco, is the one who actually shot Ross Cullum on the pier. And Jason, who just got back from being tortured in a WSB black site in Jakarta, took the fall for it. Can we just pause and appreciate the gravity of that? Sonny had to sit down and have this gut-wrenching heart-to-heart with his grandson about the heavy burden of taking a life. Maurice acted the absolute hell out of that scene, but you have to wonder if playing these heavy mob tragedies day in and day out is just draining his actual real-life energy. And then you have the Jen Sidwell mess. Sidwell is running around like a maniac, taking ADA Justine Turner hostage at the Jerome Art Gallery, and Sonny has to walk into a deadly trap to save her. Sonny had to drop the bombshell that Ross Cullum killed Marco Rios just to throw Sidwell off his game. It is non-stop action. The script pages Maurice has to memorize every week must be the size of a phone book. So yeah, maybe he is just looking at these scripts and thinking, I am too old for this. I just want to sit in a quiet room with a microphone and talk about feelings. But guys, this is where it gets incredibly embarrassing. I literally got secondhand embarrassment so bad I had to close the app. Maurice is so desperate to elevate his podcast that he is reaching out to Joe Rogan. And Dana White, he recently reached out to both of these men on social media and wrote, "Let's have an honest and open discussion on mental health on your show or my show, State of Mind. It's all for the betterment of mental health. I think it would help a lot of people." I cannot with this. I am laughing so hard I am crying, but I am also genuinely concerned. Does Joe Rogan even know who Maurice Benard is? Can you just picture it? Joe Rogan is sitting in his massive studio in Austin, Texas, drinking whatever weird supplement smoothie he has that day, and his producer Jamie pulls up a tweet from Maurice Benard. Joe is probably like, "Who is this guy?" And Jamie has to explain, he's a mob boss on an ABC soap opera that my grandma watches. I am dying." The crossover audience between the Joe Rogan Experience and General Hospital is literally zero. Rogan talks about aliens, psychedelics, and bears eating. Maurice talks about soap opera, acting, and emotional trauma. Why is he begging podcast bros for clout? It feels so beneath him. Maurice is a daytime television legend. He has won Emmys. He has carried this network on his back for decades. He shouldn't be out here tweeting at the president of the UFC asking for a collab. What is Dana White going to say to Sonny Corinthos? Are they going to discuss the mental toll of cage fighting versus the mental toll of running the Port Charles underworld? The whole thing is just so incredibly cringe, and it proves how desperate Maurice is to make this podcast his full-time. He wants out of GH, and he wants out now. Okay, back to the point. Let's say he actually does leave. What happens to the show? You cannot recast Sonny Corinthos. It is literally impossible. Remember when they tried recasting other legends? Yeah, didn't work then either. The man has been the center of the Port Charles universe for 30 years. If Maurice walks, Sonny has to die. Or go to prison forever. And with the way Jen Sidwell is setting traps right now, and the fact that Sonny is secretly sleeping with ADA Justine Turner, the writers could easily write him into a corner where he gets locked up in Pentonville for the rest of his life. I am dreading it. I am absolutely dreading the day we get the Soap Opera Digest headline that Maurice is officially out. And honestly, the writers have to be noticing his restlessness. They have to be planning for a potential exit. Why else would they be isolating Sonny so much later? Think about it. Jason comes back for the 16,000th episode, and what is the first thing he does? He tells Sonny he is stepping away from the mob to focus on. Jason is fundamentally changed from his WSB captivity, and he wants no part of the violence anymore. Then you have Carly. Carly is completely defying Sonny's orders and kissing Valentine Cassadine in the middle of General Hospital. And what does Sonny do? He acts like a total hypocrite and enlists Brick to sabotage Carly's romance while he is literally having a forbidden affair with Justine. I mean, Sonny is becoming an island. Dante stepped down as commissioner. Jason is pulling away. Carly is moving on. The writers are slowly stripping away his support system, maybe so that if Maurice does leave, the impact won't completely destroy the fabric of the show. It is a slow, painful dismantling of a mob empire, and I feel like I am watching it happen in real time. Art is imitating life. Jason wants out of the mob, and Maurice wants out of daytime TV. I know some people are loving this podcast era for him. I see the forums. Half of you are saying, let the man retire, he has given us enough. He deserves to focus on state of mind. And I get that, I really do. But personally, I am terrified. Because despite everything, despite the cringe tweets and the podcast obsession, he is General Hospital. 1 minute, I'm furious at Sonny for being a toxic hypocrite about Carly and Valentin. And the next minute, I'm crying because I don't want Maurice to leave us. I contradict myself all the time on this because I am just so emotionally invested. But you have to admit, this year has been rough for the cast behind. First, we had all those horrible rumors and legal issues with Kirsten Storms and her eviction drama, which was so sad and strange. And now, our leading man is trying to jump ship to the Joe Rogan Experience? It is just too much. I need a drink. Let's talk about the sheer audacity of the Twitter strategy again, because I cannot let it go. Let's have an honest and open discussion. He literally tagged them. It's like watching your dad try to use TikTok to go viral. It's endearing in a really sad, uncomfortable way. Maurice, we love you. You don't need Joe Rogan. You have millions of fans who have watched you throw barware across the Metro Court for decades. You are an icon. Stop tweeting at MMA guys. If Maurice really wants to transition into full-time podcasting, he needs to do it gracefully. Don't just check out of your scenes. Don't make it obvious that you'd rather be anywhere else than the PCPD interrogation. Give Sonny the send-off he deserves. Because right now, the storylines are actually peaking. The tension with Jen Sidwell is incredible. The fallout from the Ross Cullum shooting is massive. The whole Windermere hostage situation with Jocelyn, Liesel, and Cassius Faison posing as Nathan West at his peak soap opera. We need Sonny to be fully present for this climax, not daydreaming about his next YouTube thumbnail. Am I being too harsh? Maybe. I know mental health advocacy is his true calling now. He has said it 1,000,000 times. He is not ungrateful for the opportunity he has had to play Sonny. He loves the character. But you can love a character and still be completely burnt out by the grind of a soap opera. Memorizing 40 pages of dialogue a day when you are in your 60s is no joke. I just wish he would communicate his exit strategy better instead of leaving us all in this weird, anxious limbo where we are constantly checking his Twitter to see if he just announced his retirement on a UFC. So, what do you guys think? Is Maurice actually going to leave this year? Are we watching the final days of Sonny Corinthos? And more importantly, do you think Joe Rogan is ever going to reply to that tweet? Spoiler alert, no, he is not. Drop your thoughts in the comments because I need to know I am not the only one losing my mind over this. Port Charles will never be the same if he leaves, but if this is how it ends, it is definitely going to be the most bizarre exit in daytime history.